Before now, the dark web was a secret, something people didn't talk about freely as such, until people started falling victim to hackers and lost protection of themselves. At first, it was just random messages popping on the screen about being always watched and a particular someone always knowing where you were, before it led to people always running from going out because they didn't know if someone could be watching them, and then take pictures to post on the web. For days, it went on like that, and most of my friends fell victim to it. Most of them eventually had to break up with their partners because whoever took pictures of them just had to take one where they were intimate with another person. When their stories all felt similar, I just had to think it was someone close to us that was doing such. It was quite easy to think that it couldn't be someone who didn't know anything about the friend group or where they were going to be at a particular time. I made it my sole aim to catch whoever was the culprit behind uploading our private information on the web. It couldn't be that hard, since I was almost 100% sure that it was one of us. I called a meeting that night for the next day, with the attachment that just read, a friendly meeting to have fun, but I had other plans in place, or instead, the culprit had other plans for me. If only one could see the future, I would have tried to prevent it from happening. The continuous notifications from my laptop woke me up the next morning. My friends had sent concerned messages, and people seemed to be commenting on the same picture on the web. I downloaded the picture and opened it, only to find out it was me asleep but half naked on the bed. How on earth? I checked myself again and I was fully clothed, just the way I went to sleep last night. I tried deleting the picture, but I couldn't. I tried to turn off the comments, but I couldn't, since I wasn't the one who posted it. It was the same person who had posted the pictures of my friends cheating on their partners. I walked around the house to check if I left the door open overnight, or a window, because there was no way the person could have gotten in from the door. I was sure I locked the door. I took another step closer to the door, and I heard another door in my house close just behind me. It was almost as if someone had been there and was about to come out when he saw me and went back before closing the door, but I ignored it. It was probably just my mind. I checked the front door and it was just as I left it the night before, shut, closed, and tight. I was confused but decided to ignore it. Everyone had questions and I wasn't ready to answer. It was better to just ignore it for the moment. A good bath was always the fix for situations as such. I walked back to the bedroom and then to the bathroom for a good bath. I had barely switched on the shower when I heard a loud bang in the sitting room. I rushed out of the bathroom, and before I pulled on my towel, I heard the glass in the room shatter. I stayed back for a few seconds in the bedroom, behind the door, and I heard footsteps in the sitting room. It sounded huge and angry, like it was running from one place to another, looking for a particular thing. I put on a very big top and tried to go out, but stopped when I heard footsteps again. It was coming towards the bedroom this time. I locked the door quietly and just waited silently for whatever was going to happen. I was scared and silent, before my laptop gave my silence away. A notification came in, and just by looking at it, I knew I just had to check immediately. The culprit posted a picture on his page. He was in a mask and the background was my house. I zoomed in on the picture and I just had no doubt it was indeed mine. How on earth is the person even in a house that was locked overnight? Has he been here before and I didn't notice? His caption read, "Just having my fun in the best way I can. Nothing can stop me now." He added a goofy emoji and I just got more annoyed at it. How was scaring someone else and running around the house fun? Suddenly, I began to remember all the weird things that had been happening for a while. Coming home to meet clothes scattered all over the room, but not remembering how it got there, because I just thought of myself as a messy person, or the running water in the bathroom, which I was sure I put off before leaving the house, or the endless search of money that I know I put in a particular place and couldn't find it again, and eventually ended up calling myself careless. I put on some courage and decided to face him. The worst that could happen was getting beat up or him pulling off my clothes and showing it on the web. And if the web was still as secretive as it used to be, I wouldn't be concerned. I opened the door slightly, and when I didn't see anyone, I walked out and closed the door silently. I adjusted the wardrobe stick that was in my hand. I had to make a weapon for myself somehow. I kept walking and only stopped when I heard footsteps behind me. "See who finally came out?" the voice said. I know that voice, I thought. I knew that voice from anywhere. No one could even tell me it was someone else and I would agree. "Jasper?" I asked, but didn't get any reply. I felt the footsteps move further away when I turned. He was no longer there. I looked around for him but couldn't find him. Oh God, what kind of sorcery is this? I sighed in frustration and just stood at the spot. It was hard enough that I was already scared. I could not kill myself for him, even if he posted everything about me for the world to see. I heard him sneak up behind me, and with calculated steps, I stopped him from attacking me and pinned him to the ground. "You do remember I took Taekwondo class, don't you?" I asked him with a feeling of satisfaction about the fact that I caught him. "You're such a creepy human. Did you think you wouldn't get caught? You should have thought again, and I promise you're going to regret this." I picked the shoelaces that were close to me and used it to tie his legs and hands. "Shall we begin?" Even I felt an evil smirk on my face. He was creepy and scary. I could definitely do worse.